Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Jaden Gaming. And today, we're going to be building probably one of my proudest creations yet. And I'm not really a proud guy, to be honest. This is a tutorial on my 5x5 cave door in Minecraft Bedrock Edition. Yes, you heard the title right, and you heard the last, 30 seconds of my voice right. We are making this, 5x5 cave door, and the thing about this door is that I have worked on it probably for the past 2 years. I've tried to optimize it a lot, because I'm not really, I wouldn't call myself the best redstoner. I would probably be somewhere in the range of, I'm probably like Crafty Masterman's 3rd video or something, or maybe like his 13th video, somewhere in that range. I'm just trying to say that I'm not really a good redstoner. So don't be surprised if this redstone build isn't really what you expect, because you can always just click off. It's really that simple. Anyway, let's get into the other miscellaneous stuff in this build before we actually build it. The dimensions of this 5x5 cave door is 13 wide, so 13 left to right, 12 tall, so that's 12 blocks up and down, and 6 deep, 6 back and forward. Which, according to my calculations, gives us a total volume of 936 blocks. Now here is the door opening and closing. For this build, you will need 62 redstone dust, 20 redstone repeaters, 1 singular lonesome redstone torch, 11 normal pistons, 25 sticky pistons, 7 slime blocks, 11 obsidian,
or any immovable block,
6 target blocks, 16 observers, and here's the real kicker: you need approximately 201 blocks of your choice, not only for the hallway, but also for all the blocks in the redstone build. This does not include support blocks, because I don't know how many support blocks you would need for this. You will also need 8 glass blocks
of any color,
and 3 slabs of your choice. And finally, to top it off, you will need 1 redstone block. Oh, and don't forget your lever button tutorial at the end of the video. Anyway, with these materials out of the way, we can finally start this build. First things first, you will need to create space for your door to actually, go on. So if you're planning to put this in your base somewhere, and I don't know why you would, just look at that thing, you will definitely need space in your base to actually dig down and to put all the redstone in. Now you can just raw dog it as we go along in this tutorial, but I would recommend digging around at least 13 blocks along like this, at least 6 blocks back, and at least 5 down, so you can actually have space to move around along with the redstone being in there. And this is just a demonstration cube that I created in like 5 minutes, but there will obviously be more blocks that you need to get rid of besides this. But if you're not actually digging down and you just want it floating like this, you will obviously not need to dig down. And you will actually need at least 3 blocks of separation between your ground and the floor of your door. So, obviously, first things first, place a block. This block will have your lever on it. Place your lever on top of the block. This block is the same block as this block. Take a shot every time I say block. Next, on this lever block, you're going to place 2 blocks to the left and 2 blocks to the right. These 5 blocks will be the very front of your build, just like right here. Next, go under the lever block and place 2 blocks down. Break the middle block and replace it with a piece of redstone dust. Next, go behind this block with the redstone dust on it, place a block behind it,
Place a block under that block, and then place 2 more blocks, one to the left and one to the right.
Next, you're going to break this middle block, and on all of these other blocks that you placed, put redstone dust on them. Next, on either side, you're going to place a block to the left and a block to the right of these 2 blocks, and then on both of those blocks, you're going to place a block up. Break these temporary blocks in the corners. Next, place redstone dust on both of these blocks. Now, we're going to be focusing on the
Right.
left part of our bottom portion of this build. First, replace this temporary block, and go out 2 blocks right here. Break this temporary block. Next, place 2 pieces of redstone dust on the blocks, like this. Is that a donkey? What was that? What is a donkey? Hi. Next, go to the back, and you're going to place 3 blocks back, like this. And on all of them, you're going to place redstone dust. On this second block from the back, place a temporary block to the right, a temporary block up, or actually no, not a temporary block up. Break the temporary block, and place another block to the back. Next, on the backmost block, place a repeater on 1 tick facing towards the back, and in front of it, place a piece of redstone dust. Next, on this left portion, across from the repeater, you're going to place another block on this backmost block with the dust on it, and you're going to place another piece of redstone dust like this. Now, take out your sticky pistons, and in these dimples that we created earlier, place 2 sticky pistons facing up. Next, on this very back middle block, you're going to place a temporary block and another sticky piston facing up, just like the other 2. Next, on these 2 ends of this wavy portion, you're going to place 2 temporary blocks towards the front, and 2 sticky pistons facing up, just like the other 3. Break all of your temporary blocks. Next, we are going to be focusing on the left portion of our bottom portion of this build. First, on this leftmost block, you're going to go 3 blocks towards the left, and 2 blocks towards the back. Place redstone dust on all 5 blocks. Next, on this block that's being connected to 2 pistons, you're going to place your one and only torch. You may get rid of your torches from your inventory. We do not need them anymore. I would recommend replacing them with observers. Under this torch, you're going to very carefully place a block, and then one to the left, and you're going to place a 4-tick redstone repeater to the left, and put this into a block. This repeater is actually supposed to be 3 ticks. Next, into the block that the repeater is facing into, you're going to place a block under it and a block towards the back. Break this middle block. Then you're going to place another repeater facing towards the back, also on 3 ticks. Also put this repeater into a block. Finally, put a block under this second repeater's block facing into thingy, and you're going to place a block under it. Next, put a block to the right, and also put a 3-tick redstone repeater into it. This whole thing will make sense later. But for right now, we need to go back to this redstone dust line and place another block towards the back. It should be going into the second repeater that we have block facing into, and place a 1-tick redstone repeater facing towards the back on that block. Next, put another block to the back, and place a block up. This 1-tick repeater should be facing into it. Do the same thing to the other repeater on the right side. Place a temporary block, and then 1 block up. This 1-tick repeater should be facing into it. Next, go on this right side, and place a redstone dust on top of this block with the 1-tick repeater facing into it. Under it, you're going to place a temporary block, and then 1 to the right, if you're looking at the front. Next, place a redstone dust on that block as well. Replace the observer in your inventory with a target block. Next, go behind this piece of redstone dust and place the target block. On top of it, you're going to face a sticky piston to the right, and on the sticky piston, you are going to place your one and only redstone block. We do not need our block of redstone anymore. I would recommend replacing it with obsidian. We do not need our lever anymore. I would recommend replacing that with your observer. Behind this sticky piston with the redstone block on top of it, we're going to do a bit of repeater shenanigans with this piece of redstone dust. To the right of this piece of redstone dust, you're going to place a block and a 1-tick repeater facing towards the right if you're looking at the front. Next, put a block in front of it. Put a block down, a block to the right, break this temporary block, and you're going to place another redstone repeater on 2 ticks this time. Temporary block, 1 up, 1 to the right, break this block, and you're going to do the same thing, put a 2-tick repeater on the block. I messed up again. This block with the 2-tick repeaters squishing it, you need to replace that block with a piece of obsidian. On this obsidian, you are also going to place 3 more obsidian. So it looks like a T shape like this. These 3 obsidian are actually going to show up in your floor.
So I severely messed up here, and I forgot when my recording was paused and when it wasn't. And that led me to completely cut out a clip of me placing stuff in the tutorial. This includes placing a temporary block right here, and then placing a sticky piston facing up on top of it, which allows the repeater to power it and extend it, and then putting a block on top of that sticky piston. The block on top of the sticky piston will show up on your floor. Make sure it looks nice. Actually, one more thing, that's supposed to be a normal piston.
So now we are going to get into why all of this weird looking wiring is right here. Because we are going to actually put a triple piston extender right here, right smack in the middle of the build. So, on this extended piston, we're going to place 3 more sticky pistons to the right of it, all facing up. And on top of it, we're going to place 3 slime blocks, like this. In front of it, we will place 3 normal pistons, like this. And under these 3 sticky pistons, we're going to place 3 observers with the red darts facing towards the front, and their goofy-ass faces facing the back. On the red dots of these 3 observers, we're going to place 3 blocks, like this. And in front of this observer, from left to right, if you're looking at the back, we're going to place a sticky piston facing right, a block, and nothing. The reason why is when we update this piston with a redstone block or a torch or something, when we activate this piston, it will activate all 3 of these pistons at the same time. Next, on this rightmost sticky piston, we are going to place a normal block, and then put another block behind it. This is temporary. Put one below, put one above, break the temporary, and then put a redstone dust between the 2 blocks. And a huge congratulations to you for making it to this part of the video, because we have just finished the bottom portion of this cave door. So now you can fill it in with all of your favorite door blocks, or hallway blocks, or whatever you're doing. Personally, I like putting not repeaters everywhere, but iron blocks everywhere. I mean, just look at my redstone world. Like, it's very expensive. As a guide, you will need to put 5 hallway blocks to the right of this redstone block. These 25 blocks are actually the floor of your build. They are the same as these 24 blocks, because this corner block in the top right is actually a piece of obsidian. Do not put a normal block here. This is an obsidian for a reason. So, now, we are ready to test the bottom portion of our build. Flick the lever. It should do this. These 5 blocks go up by 1, and there should be 6 blocks on the back here, including this one. This is intentional. And it should all retract back into the floor. Next, we are going to focus on the left side of our build. We do not need our redstone block anymore. I would recommend replacing it with glass. Next, we are going to place a temporary block on this backmost block on the left, and one up. Break the temporary block. Place a piece of glass on top of this redstone dust. You do not need to crouch. Place redstone dust on both of these blocks, not on the sticky piston. Instead, we will place a glass block on top of the piston. Now place your redstone dust. Next, on these 2 pieces of redstone dust, if you're looking at the back, we need to put 2 pieces of glass on them. It should look like a very deformed upside down 7. Place 2 pieces of redstone dust on both of the glass blocks. Next, on this middle glass block, you're going to place another glass block. Also place a piece of redstone dust on that. Replace your obsidian with a target block. Replace your slime block with a smooth stone slab or any other slabs. On this rightmost glass block, if you're looking at the back, place a normal block behind it. This is temporary. Place a slab under it, and place a target block on top of it. Break the temporary block. Looking at the front now, on this middle bottom glass block, place a block in front of it, and place a 3-tick repeater facing towards the left. Place a piece of redstone dust on the slab. Still looking at the front, we're going to put a normal block in front of this slab, not on top of it, like this, but instead under it, like this. Place a piece of redstone dust on top of it. To the right of this block, place a temporary block and place an observer looking at the repeater with the red dot facing towards the front. Break the temporary block. In front of this rightmost glass block, still looking at the front, you're also going to place a block and a piece of redstone dust on top of it. Still looking at the front, on this leftmost side, we're going to place a temporary block, place a piston.
What?
Place a piston facing right, and then in front of it, you're going to place another piston facing right, and then one of your door blocks, or your wall blocks, I guess. Actually, no, you are not going to place one of your wall blocks. You will replace your target block with a slime block, and you will put a slime block there, and then place one of your wall blocks. On this left frontmost piece of redstone dust, you are also going to place another piston facing the same way as this double piston extender. And you are also going to place another piston on top of this observer, facing the same way. And you may get at where I'm going with this. You're also going to place a slime block, and you are also going to place one of your wall blocks as well. In front of this front double piston extender, we're going to place a normal piston facing the same way as all of these other pistons. Next, place a normal piston facing the same way, wedged between these two double piston extenders. Now, go behind all of this shenanigans, and place another piston facing the same way as everything else to the right of this target block if you're looking at the front. On these two back pistons, place a block, and then you're going to place a redstone dust. Place a temporary block towards the front. Place an observer looking at this piece of redstone dust and the red dot facing towards the front as well. Place a block on the red dot, and then a temporary block, another block down, break the temporary block and the block behind it. Place a piece of redstone dust. Place a temporary block down and a block to the right, break the temporary block, and place another piece of redstone dust that should connect to this frontmost piston. This observer is actually looking at a 4-tick redstone repeater, not a piece of redstone dust. Behind this repeater, place a redstone dust. Now, let's go back to the back of our back.
Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Now, let's go back to the back of our build. On this top glass block that we neglected approximately 2.5 minutes ago, we'll put a block to the left, a block up, break the bottom block, a temporary block to the left again, one block up, break the temporary block again. Put redstone dust on both of these blocks. This leftmost block is actually a part of your wall. Still looking at the back, on this block, left and down from the block that's part of your wall, or rather right and down, behind it you're going to place block, and then replace your slab with an obsidian, and then another block. All of this behind this block. And place redstone dust on all 3 blocks. Oh, I kind of messed up with this. Whatever. Next to this obsidian, we need to place an observer facing down towards this sticky piston.
so that the red dot is facing down. If you try to place it like this, the red dot is facing up, not down. So I would recommend trying to first off, break the target block, and then get in this little nook right here, and like that. You gotta look at the obsidian. Luckily, it's obsidian and not my block that blends into the sky, but that is very, very hard to do. Next, place a 4-tick repeater facing away from the middle of your build on top of it. This double piston extender activating when you alter this repeater is completely normal. Sorry, this is actually supposed to be a 3-tick repeater. On top of this redstone dust that we placed earlier, we're going to place a block and a piece of redstone dust on top of it. Now, on either side of this block, we're going to place 2 temporary blocks and 2 blocks up from these temporary blocks. Break the temporary blocks. Next, we're going to place 2 blocks in front of these blocks like this. And we need to place 2 observers on the backmost one, and just 1 observer on the frontmost one, like this. Break these 2 blocks, and replace the one towards the back with a 3-tick repeater facing towards the middle, and the one on the front with a 4-tick repeater also facing towards the middle. Do not put blocks in front of these repeaters. It is a very bad decision. Also, under this observer, place a block. And we can finally replace this target block that we broke a few minutes ago. Right here. On this redstone line that we created a few minutes ago, we're going to place a temporary block towards the front, and a target block on top of it. Next, replace this temporary block with an obsidian.
See, this is what happens when you record at 9 p.m. at night. That is a sticky piston, you stupid.
Facing towards the middle. And in front of the target block, we're going to also place a sticky piston facing towards the middle. Put wall blocks in front of these two sticky pistons. Finally, to finish off the wall, go in this section where the redstone block is. Place a block here. This can be your wall block. And place an obsidian or any immovable block right here. Next, on top of this obsidian, 2 blocks above the old obsidian, also place a piece of obsidian here or any immovable block. Everywhere else is your wall blocks. Make sure to make this wall only 5 blocks high. Now we are finally ready to test our build once again. Flick the lever for the second time. You should see this whole part of the wall come out, and these 2 blocks come out as well. On the retraction, it should look like that. It seems that I've messed up a little bit. Under this frontmost double piston extender, we will also need another piston. And on this frontmost redstone line, place a temporary block under and one to the back, break the temporary block, and place a piece of redstone dust right there. Now your build should be working perfectly. You can test this as many or as few times as you want, but you will eventually need to stop testing because you need to finish this tutorial. And I need to finish recording this tutorial. It's literally 8:20 p.m. Now we're going to be focusing on the right side of the build, which is actually an exact mirrored copy of the left side of the build. If you would like to pause the video and try to mirror it for yourself, you can go ahead, or you can follow this quick tutorial. Once again, place a piece of redstone dust on this lone repeater. Place 2 temporary blocks like this. Next, 2 blocks up, break the 2 temporary blocks. Place a block on top of this redstone dust. You do not need to crouch. Place 3 pieces of redstone dust all along here. Actually, wait, I'm being an idiot. This top one does need to be a glass block. And then put the redstone dust on top of it. And on this rightmost side, we're going to place another glass block with another piece of redstone dust. And on this middle glass block, we'll place another middle glass block with also another piece of redstone dust. Next up, you're going to place a block on this bottom middle glass, a redstone repeater towards the outside on 3 ticks. Replace your target block with your slabs, and we're going to place a slab top half of the block right here, and place a redstone dust on it. And behind the repeater, we're just going to place a normal block and obviously redstone dust. In front of this repeater, we're going to place a temporary block and an observer facing towards the front. At least the red dot facing towards the lever. And on either side, we're going to place normal blocks, both with redstone dust on it. Next, place a temporary block on the rightmost side, and place a sticky piston facing towards the middle, with another sticky piston in front of it. Replace your slabs with your slime, a slime block, and your wall block. On top of this back piece of redstone dust, you're going to place a sticky piston, not like that. Like this. There we go. Near the observer. And then you're going to place another sticky piston on top of the observer. Once again, your slime block. And once again, your block of iron. Your wall block. Yeah, your wall block. Next, we're going to put a block on the back, wedged between these 2 double piston extenders. Replace your obsidian with target blocks. And then, place a target block on top of the redstone dust on top of the slab. Right next to it, we're going to place a normal piston like this. No, sorry, it's actually 1 block down, so it is facing the wall, and it is also being activated by this target block. Once again, we're going to place a redstone dust on top of this piston, and a 4-tick redstone repeater facing towards the back. Sorry, this is actually facing towards the front. Anyway, place a temporary block once again, and an observer looking at this 4-tick repeater, and the red dot facing towards the front. Next, place a block on top of the red dot of the observer, 2 temporary blocks down, break the middle, and a piece of redstone dust. Next, a temporary block down, a temporary block towards the middle, break the temporary, another temporary block down, a temporary towards the back, break this middle temporary, and on these remaining blocks, place redstone dust. Next, place your 2 normal pistons, one under this sticky piston, and one to the right of the sticky piston, like this. Next, we're going to go to this glass tower that we abandoned, put a temporary block towards the middle, put a block up, replace your target blocks with obsidian, and going towards the front, we're going to go block, obsidian, and block. Now, put redstone dust on all of these blocks. Before I forget, we need to place the really hard to place observers. crouch, and next to this obsidian, we're going to place an observer facing down, if I can get it right. I can't get it right. Okay. So what we're actually going to do, we're going to place a temporary block on top of this piston, another temporary block, break the first one, go under it, and we can just place an observer easier like that. Actually, nope, we can't. Okay, we're gonna have to use the target thing again. So break the target block, go down into this little crevice of pistons, and place the observer facing down, with the face facing up, like this. Next, place a temporary block on top of the observer, and place another observer facing down the same way. And on the other side, with the conveniently broken target block, we can place 2 observers facing down right here. Now we can break this temporary block, and instead put a block under this top observer, like this. Now, coming away from this obsidian, we're going to place a redstone repeater right on this middle observer on 3 ticks. Place a block on top of this redstone dust. Place a redstone dust on top of the block. Place 2 temporary blocks like this. 2 temporary blocks up. Or, no, not temporary blocks, just normal blocks. Break the temporary blocks. And then put 2 more pieces of redstone dust like this.
Actually, you'd be fine without those 2 pieces of redstone dust, because the middle one can handle it just fine. It's hard powering the 2 other blocks, so they don't need extra redstone dust to power it.
And, of course, put 4-tick redstone repeaters on both observers. Sorry, this right one is actually supposed to be 3 ticks. Don't forget to replace this target block! And the final few steps for the sides, we're going to go a temporary block like this, a target block above, replace this temporary block with a sticky piston, put a sticky piston towards the front, and final step, get out your obsidian, place an obsidian in front of this obsidian, and 2 blocks below also place an obsidian, and everywhere else, place your wall blocks. Remember to make the wall 5 high. And now, as long as you and my memory have correctly built this, we are allowed to do our 3rd test. Flick the lever. Now, we're starting to see the cave door shape come into play. This entire bottom section is filled all the way up to the middle blocks. And also these 2 blocks. Ooh, looks like I forgot to place a piston right here. Alright, that's a simple fix. At least I don't have to break anything. Okay, let's retest this. Good. Good, except that. What? Okay, what's going on? Did I make you a... No, you are not a sticky piston. I don't know why that block is there. Did I mess up the timings? No, I did not. Okay, that is weird. That... I think... I'm not sure about this, but some other experienced Redstoners can tell me in the comment section, does Bedrock Edition have locationality and directionality and chunk border mess-ups? Like in Java Edition? Because To this day, I still don't know if Bedrock has those things. Please tell me in the comments. Our final step. The top of the build. The most strange for me, it feels like I'm getting nausea every time I try to do a top section of a redstone tutorial. And I hope it's not as nauseous for you, because it's kinda trippy for me. Anyway, let's start by putting redstone dust on these pieces of redstone dust that are right next to the target block on both sides of the door. The tops of your walls should look like this. 2 redstone dust on either side, and this redstone dust that we did earlier on the back. It should be on the right. Sorry, left. We are going to place a redstone block on... Sorry, not a redstone block. Redstone dust right here. And then to the left, we're going to place another block and a redstone dust. Place a temporary block, and then 1 block up towards the middle of your build. And place another piece of redstone dust. Place a block and redstone dust. Nope, just kidding. It's a repeater. Specifically 2 ticks going into a temporary block and then a block in front of it. Here I go once again, not knowing when my recording is paused. Here's what you missed. A block right here, a block to the right of it, and redstone dust on both, making it look like this. Sorry, not even a redstone dust. We need to place a 3-tick repeater right here. This is what happens when you try to record a redstone video at quite literally 8:50 p.m. I don't know if you can see that, but that says 8:50 p.m. Next, in front of this 3-tick repeater, we're going to place 3 blocks in front of it. 2 towards the front, like this. It kind of looks like a Lego hand. And on all of these blocks, we're going to place 5 redstone dust in total. Next, place a temporary block, then place a temporary block, then place a temporary block. Then place a temporary block. Break these 3 temporary blocks. And on this floating one, we're going to place 2 sticky pistons down. And then go ahead and replace your glass with your target blocks. Break this temporary block and place a target block in front of it, in front of this top piston. Place 2 sticky pistons on either side of it, also facing down like this. And then, in front of these 2 double piston extenders, we're going to place even more sticky pistons in front of them. And in between these 2 single ones, we're going to place a block. In this area, we're going to place 3 redstone dust along the top of these pistons and the block. Next, to the left, we're going to place another block with a wreath of redstone dust on it. This is part of this 2-tick repeater line that we made earlier. Next, go behind and replace your glass block with your slime block. And place a glass right here. Now, place a redstone dust on top of it. Next, if you're looking at the back, place another normal block to the right. Place a redstone dust. I'm trying to go slower than normal because OBS is crashing out on me. Grab your slabs and place a top half slab right here. And place redstone dust on it. Now, if you have a keen eye, you may notice, wait, this circuit is powering itself. But this slab is actually blocking it. See, slabs have this weird property in Minecraft compared to glass. When you try to send a signal downwards using a slab, the slab actually cuts off the redstone signal, compared to glass, where it is allowed to travel straight through. So by using this tech, we're able to create this very compact circuit where we need one line going up here to activate all of these pistons, but a longer delayed line to get all of these pistons without them interfering. And another quirk about these slabs is even though they're not able to transmit downwards, they're able to transmit upwards for some reason. Using this other part of the tech with slabs, slab tech, I'm calling it, we are able to make it so it instantly powers this part, extending these top pistons, and then allowing that 2-tick repeater to keep the top pistons extended for the retraction of the door. And the final parts of this build are an observer, either here or here, both is fine. This observer can detect these top pistons extending and retracting, and then a block connecting to this bottom redstone line. That right there, that is actually the final part of this build. And now... Nope, it's not your final block. The final block is the sticky piston facing down from that target block. We can finally fill in these blocks with your ceiling blocks. We can watch in amazement as you have completed your very first 5x5 cave door. Hey, did you forget about the button tutorial?
But levers are so overrated, says you. Why not use 2 buttons?
Oh my gosh, we're done. Bye, guys.